Hello, good morning everybody. It is Tuesday the 25th of October 2022. As you can see from the Terry's Timber signs, I am over at Bramley Moore Dock and I'm here to do an intro and outro for my midweek video, which will be released on Wednesday the 26th of October 2022. I've just come here to do, like I say, the intro and outro. All footage used in this video that you'll be watching was taken on Sunday. Well, it was taken over the weekend during my last video. You'll see a little lift going up there of some terracing towards, they may be going on the east stand then, if you can see in that video. So yeah, turn you back round, it's a very busy site. So yeah, as Everton and Lango Rourke have asked us not to fly during midweek, I said recently that all of my midweek videos now will use there's somebody giving me a beep and a wave. Thanks very much for that, girls. So all of my midweek videos will use weekend footage. You'll see as well, it's not as easy as just putting the drone up and covering questions and comments whilst having a look around. It really isn't, and you might notice that from the video. But yeah, here we go. Here's the video I put together covering some of your questions and comments that were put to me over the weekend from my weekend video. Let's have a look around. It looks like there's another beep for me. Thanks very much. This is great here. Stand here all day getting beeps. There you go, lowering that terrace in it. I think they're just bringing it back down actually, unless it's going to go over onto the east stand. No, it's coming back down. Anyway, let's take a look at this midweek video, answering your questions and comments put to me over the weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get at it. Right, okay guys, so we're going to get straight up in the air. As you know, this was taken from my footage from the weekend, and we're going to jump straight into it whilst we're going up in the air. So first question I've got here is from a Douglas Taggart, who says, I think the stadium is going to look great, but I'm still not sure about the location. So what is it, Douglas? I'd like you to just, I brought this one up because I'd like you to just elaborate and get some more comments on this. What is it about the location, Douglas? Is it the fact it's next to the United Utilities? I think it's United Utilities. I forget every time I say this. Sorry. Is it what it's next to? Is it just being down on the docks? I don't know. I'd just like you to elaborate. I think it's a good location personally. People have said about the lack of car parking, but it's easy to get to. I showed a video of how to get there using the train, and it'll be easy from the city centre. I showed the video getting there walking from the city centre and taking the e-scooters. So yeah, I'd just like you to elaborate a bit more, if you don't mind, Douglas, and anyone else. Drop your comments on it too. Be really good to get comments on what you think of the location. As Douglas got a point. So yeah, guys, be really good to get your thoughts on that, please. I think it's a decent location personally. I think it's great the fact we'll be able to see the city in the background, and there's potential to build more in and around it. But yeah, grateful for your comment, Douglas, and be grateful for a bit more elaboration. Anybody else's comments on that one? Okay, so moving on. Next up, we've got Dennis Cartwright, who says, great video, Nick, as always. Nice to start seeing the curvature of the roof on the north stand. Also nice to see all the first terrace and support columns in place on the west and east stands. Looking forward to seeing the roof start to lift into place. Yeah, looking forward to seeing the roof lift into place myself, Dennis. So let's just have a look. Coming up, looking at the back of the west stand. Because you said about the curvature on the roof, yeah, so it is great, isn't it? And hopefully, I'm going across the north stand now, so there's the curvature there, as you say. Hopefully it's going to start stretching right across soon, and we'll see a lot more maybe this weekend. Moving on to your next point regarding the first terracing. coming in, so we can see it. We're looking at the east and the west. So as I come up this is behind the south. So if you look straight ahead to the east stand, coming down towards you can see the terracing supports going down to ground level. So yeah, they look great. I had mentioned this in my video, but Dennis, they do look great, don't they? It is really good to start seeing them. So hopefully, again soon we'll start seeing some terracing put in there, which will just make it look like more of a stadium. So yeah, great spot, Dennis. And on to the next, still on the west stand. So the Wolfman has said, another great video, Nick. On the visuals of the west stand, it looks like there is external terracing sloping back down towards the Mersey on the outside of the stand. Is this just steps up to the entrances, or has it been designed as a leisure viewing platform? Graham Bramwood has replied saying it's an area for people to congregate and hang out before matches. So I've had a look at this. So this is a reveal of the west stand, and I just Wolfman, I just can't see it. So I've moved on, taking a few shots going around different angles. Here I'm going towards the north stand, so looking just behind that west stand there, I can see there's, and here, from above, I can see there is like a platform here, but I can't see any sort of like you said, external terracing, so to speak. I just can't see it at all, Wolfman. I've had a good look as well. Here I'm coming round from the south stand, circling, and yeah, I just can't see it. See that platform? Am I missing a slope somewhere? Here's a bit of a close-up, and Wolfman, I just can't see it. So yeah, point out to me, someone, if I'm missing that and you all see it, please point it out to me. But thanks for your comment, Wolfman. I just can't see it. Right, okay, so moving on. So next up, I've got a couple of comments or questions based on the same sort of thing. So a few of you noticed something that I didn't actually notice. That's regarding some temporary steel and cranes. So first up, Paul Lovett has said, great video. You can now see some temporary steel on the north stand where the terracing is missing. This is part of the steel to temporarily hold up the trusses. Also, the crane mast sections for the crane to lift the trusses are in the middle of the pitch. The crane is currently being assembled, getting close. Yeah, Paul. So then I've also got Dave Gerard. Thank you so much, Nick. This is a great update again. Question for you. On the north stand below the new back roof supports that have gone in this week, there appears to be some new white steelwork emerging from the gaps in the terracing. 2 minutes 3 seconds appears to be the best view. It may be part of the corporate hospitality areas, or it may be the start of the temporary roof support structures going up. Given that we are only 8 days away from the proposed start of the roof span lifts, I would have expected more evidence of these temporary supports that we've heard so much about. Having said that, the progress on the site is so rapid on a vast scale, it's hard to keep up. Yeah, totally agree, Dave Gerard. So I also had Dave Roberts saying, thank you for the update again. I really look forward to seeing it every week. Looking right in the centre, but not sure if it's me or not, but is a large crane being erected, maybe to lift the roof truss into place. The shape of the stadium is really starting to take shape, with the roof now starting to go on. And Brummagem Friar, I see they are erecting the big crane in the middle to lift the roof trusses. Yeah, so all of you, thanks very much. And there were a few others as well. These are some are picked out. I'm sure a few of you spotted this, but we'll take a look right now. So first up, Dave Gerard has mentioned that on 2 minutes 3 seconds of my last video, you could see. So here's a picture of the. I took it exactly 2 minutes 3 seconds in, Dave, and you can see top left-hand corner. Yeah, there's some white steels on that north stand coming out where there's a gap. And now we're going to have a look. So coming across the back of the south stand here, you'll see, if you look at the north stand, which is opposite us, the top left of the north stand, closest to the west stand, you can see in the gap there's some white steelworks, like a few of you have mentioned. You can also see, if you look in the middle, you can see the crane, the orange crane being erected in between the roof trusses there. So yeah, moving on. So this is a reveal of the back. So actually I put this reveal in so to look at the crane. We can see the crane visibly in the middle there, the orange being erected. That was a reveal from behind the north stand. This again I'm just repeating, going up from behind the south stand, just to have a good look at that crane in the middle, because it's quite a good shot of it. There, isn't it, to get a look at the crane and again the white steel. So I can't believe when I was when I do the videos, my screen is quite small. I've said this a few times to look at, and I'm also obviously concentrating on flying, so it's hard to take it all in, but it's really evident now. Here's a zoomed in shot looking right at the east stand, but again, you know, that white steel work and the crane in the middle, really visible again. Yeah, so guys, thanks very much for pointing that out. Like I say, I can't believe I missed it, really. But it's, you know, it's a really small screen when I'm doing it. Just circling around here while I'm finishing off this part, but again, you can see it. You can see it all visibly clear. So who knows, this weekend when I'm there, we may see a lot more of that crane gone up, and maybe more temporary steels gone in, if they are temporary steels. But you know, a few of you said that they are, so I've no reason to doubt you. So yeah, moving on from that. And this one is a technical question. So what I'll do, I'll just put in the background, I'll just circle the stadium and throw some shots up. But Graham's put, hi, cheers for the videos, an oddly addictive watch now. Yeah, cheers Graham, I think a lot of people are on that. Just a technical question from me, and it's probably really obvious, but are you using your drone to film yourself as you walk along doing the spoken segments? If so, it must be really quite small, as based on ones I've come across before being a fair old size, it'd be too unwildly to hold it steady in your hand. Yeah, I'm not, so to answer that first, Graham, no, I'm not using my drone to film myself when I'm doing the talking sections. At the moment I use a DJI Osmo Pocket, which is basically like a handheld camera. It's really small. I have actually just invested in a new vlogging camera, but I'm just going to do some practice on that first before I use it. But no, I don't use the drone for that, Graham. It wouldn't be right to use a drone walking across the streets having it head height. You know, if somebody walks around the corner and walks directly into the drone, it's not ideal. Also, you've said, I'm just curious, I'm a Brighton fan, by the way. Do you wish you'd been able to document the building of the Amex just over a decade or so ago? I'd check into a webcam the club set up for the fans back then, and my heart would leap every time a new chunk was added on the seating with the flying seagulls emerged in. Must be great for Everton fans. I wish them well. Thanks very much, Graham. Yeah, as you'll know, I am an Everton fan. Thanks for wishing us well. It is great for us, and we're all very excited for it. But do I wish I was able to film the building of the Amex? Yes and no. Okay, so it would have been great to catch other stadiums being built, but I'm up in Liverpool and the Amex is down in Brighton, so it would have been near impossible, you know, maybe get there once every 6 months or something like that, but there's no chance I could have filmed it like I am this stadium. Would have been great to film, get some footage of, yeah. Wrexham are starting to do their stand soon, and Fulham have just done theirs. It would have been good to get Fulham's, and you know, it'd be good to go and get Wrexham's and any other football stadiums. But listen, the new Everton Stadium is really close to me, and obviously it's who I support, so it's just not practical at all to look at thinking about getting the likes of the Amex. Would have been great, but no, I wouldn't have, you know, I couldn't have made attempts to get down there, that's all. Thanks for your question. And lastly, Bob, Nick, why are Everton not letting you film inside? Okay, Bob, it's they just wouldn't, you know. I'd love to get inside, and they have said, as they've asked us not to do midweek, they've said, you know, they're happy to look at getting us site tours, a few of us site tours early in the year next year, because the site's really packed up this year. But I couldn't at all expect them to let me in. It's a very busy site, very busy construction site. There's obviously a lot of health and safety, a lot of risk assessments that have to go on probably daily. There's no way I could ever expect them to let me on site. Is there really? They do their own, Bob. They do their own as well from inside. So yeah, I'd love to, Bob, and it'd be great if I was able to get in every week or every month, but it's never going to happen, and I wouldn't expect it to, because like I say, it'd be too much of a health and safety risk for them, and imagine all the messing they'd have to do just to let me on site. yeah, it just wouldn't happen, unfortunately. Hopefully when they start letting us in the new year, hopefully, you know, they're going to let us take some pictures and do some filming, hopefully. But yeah, watch this space. Thanks very much. So yeah, I'll end it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll click to my outro now. Thanks very much. Right, guys, so there you go. That was my midweek video of the Everton Stadium at Bramley Moore Dock, answering some of your questions and comments. I have to, as you know, as I said at the beginning, it's a slightly different format now. I have to put that together use my Sunday footage, the footage I use for my weekend videos, because we're asked not to fly midweek. So yeah, just to change up in format, and it is more difficult. You'll probably notice it is more difficult than just being able to put the drone up in the air and talk about what I'm doing. So what did we look at? We looked at I looked at a question from Douglas Taggart at the beginning. Thanks very much for your points. Well, it's not a question. He just said he's not sure about the location. And yeah, I gave my view on that. So guys, I appreciate any comments, any of your comments and opinions on that. What else did I look at? The terracing. We can start seeing the terracing, or the supports for the terracing on the west and east stands. Yeah, it looks really, really good, that, Dennis. Thanks for mentioning that. We can definitely see that. Yeah, the Wolfman said about the terracing slope, or something that looked like terracing slope at the outside of the west stand at the back, and I just couldn't see it. So Wolfman or anybody else, if you know where that is, and if I missed it, please let me know. Sorry about that. Then we've got the big crane in the middle, and that temporary steel, what we think is temporary steel on the north stand, pointed out by a few people. Brummigam 3R, Paul Lovett, David Roberts, and Dave Gerrard. Yeah, thanks very much, and others as well. Sorry, I appreciate others pointed that out, but I can only pick so many. So thanks very much for that as well. Appreciate that. There's a little beep, another little beep. So, and then yeah, just finishing off, I had Graham asking me if I use my drone to do these sorts of intros and outros, and obviously no I don't. I use my DJI Osmo Pocket, although I have just bought a new one that I'm practicing with. And he asked me if I would have liked to have get the Amex when Brighton built the Amex, and you see my answer. Although it would have been great, it's just logistically would have been impossible. And Bob asked Nick, why are Everton not letting you film inside? Well, although I answered the question, I'll also turn you around. Like, look at this site. Just to give you an example. So, okay, could they let me in on weekends when it's quieter? But they said they're working around the clock at the moment. Bob, I wouldn't expect them to be turning up at 7 a.m. to let me in, but I'm only standing here for a few minutes, and look how busy it is. So, yeah, you got my thoughts on that too. So, guys, that was my midweek, answering your questions and comments. Thank you very much for them. Please always keep adding more comments down below. There's quite a lot of people come here to see the site. So yeah, please keep adding all your comments for me. Please like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe. Only about 30% of people that watch the videos are subscribing at the moment, so please hit that subscribe button. If you want to buy me a beer, you can do so here. No pressure at all, only if you want to. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye now.